Man, that night I called, there was 7 or 8 ambulances just back and forth. We've actually seen eviction rates drop. Rather than just sending in the security straight away, they send us in, we give them some water, we spray them, chuck them a whole bunch of frogs. Actually calms them down just a little bit. It's just crazy, like the small, humble beginnings and just doing the small things over and over and over again. Now looking after 1.5 million Aussies across Australia and in 14 other countries. If we can make these environments as safe as possible, man, that is the biggest win.
What is one of the funniest stories you've got from your 11 years of frogging?
Anyway, everyone nicknamed him Iron Man for the rest of the league.
Welcome back to the Hot Property Podcast. I'm Aaron Savage. I'm one of our sales agents here, and I have André Henare, who is the regional coordinator of Red Frogs in Toowoomba and the Darling Downs.
Yeah.
Mate, thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, good to be here.
Yes.
Good to come hang out.
Excellent. Tell us a little bit about Red Frogs, who you are and what you guys do.
Yeah, so Red Frogs, for those who don't know, we're a support network for young people, obviously most known for our work in Schoolies, where we go down to the youth festival down at the Gold Coast every single year and look after young people, whether that be through hydration, handing out that food. But a lot of our volunteers are just in the right place at the right time. Again,
are you still volunteering?
You're
still there every year?
So we take our crew down there as well. Fair few of our crew, because that's where a lot of our students locally go, and so that's where we'll send our crew.
So if you do froggies this year at Schoolies, how many years in a row will that be at Schoolies for you?
This will be year 11. Yeah, number 11. Look out.
Holy crap.
Yeah, you get a 10-year ring. So,
oh, nice. Really?
Hopefully two decades, I might get something else.
Same as like the NFL Super Bowl rings.
Just huge.
Yeah,
big
massive,
rocket.
big rocks.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, Schoolies is probably what we're most known for.
Yes.
But what people may not be aware is we're one of Australia's largest support networks in universities as well. So right across the nation, and actually in a fair few other countries now. We've got our French Froggies, we're in South Africa.
You're in
UK,
the States?
Yeah, in the States, going to a lot of their
like college
parties.
Events,
That one's pretty fresh. So man, it'd be different game over there.
Be a whole other field.
huge. But our university program, man, that's even locally, that's what we're in there every single week. Sort of that same sort of age bracket. We're looking after that high school age all the way through to university.
So your main demographic could be like 17 to 30. Yeah,
I'd say main. We're probably a little bit younger now. That we're seeing a large trend. A lot of people going to parties a lot earlier. And so we've started our education programs a lot earlier now. But then all the way to the finishing of the university. So in Australia, university is probably like our bread and butter. We call Schoolies just our pre-O week. Because Schoolies just happens in a couple of locations, whereas
and for those people who don't know what O Week is, what is O Week? So O Week right across Australia is the orientation week, which usually is accompanied by a lot of parties. Transitioning students from high school to university. Sweet.
So their first week, a lot of universities will have a party every single night. So we'll have like toga party, we'll have the scribble party, and all these sorts of events where they're just packed. Whereas Schoolies is probably just 30, 40, 50,000 people across Australia. The university O Week's like double that. Getting in and supporting in those environments as well. So Schoolies, universities, also very involved in the sporting.
I've seen you guys at cricket fields and things like that, which is cool.
So we're partners with Cricket Australia. We're at most of their matches. They send us in usually before they send in securities when certain crowds or people are playing up a little bit. And
I've seen you guys with like waterers.
We spray it.
You spray people.
It feels crazy. But just spraying people with water, it's awesome. I don't know if you've ever been at a game, you're like blistering hot. And then we just bring these things around. People like call us from across the stadium just asking us to come over. But we've actually seen eviction rates drop. Rather than just sending in the security straight away, they send us in, we give them some water, we spray them, chuck them a whole bunch of frogs. Actually calms them down just a little bit.
Gee, that's awesome.
But we're actually seeing huge eviction rates drop even in the sporting events. So a bit like Froggy crowd control in those environments, which is pretty cool. But also in the clubs, we work alongside chaplains and wellbeing.
And like armor guard and
So we're just looking after the players. So even locally, we've started that with the Clydesdales and the Mountaineers, where we're able to send in a crew every single week to their trainings.
Gee, that's awesome.
Send them into their games as well. Really becomes a bit of part of the team because we're there to serve, look after these young people. And sports is such I'd say a specific role, especially as far as mental health and things go.
Do you sort of said you guys are there to help and you guys are there. Can you, I guess, sort of share any personal stories where you've been in situations and you've seen like, wow, we've really changed that person's life and trajectory and we've really had an impact?
Yeah, specifically in sports?
Or
just across
anything,
the board?
across the board. Give me a few.
Yeah. So we see another area that we're in is festivals. And so recently my team, we've just been down at CMC. We look after that as a Frogs response, working a lot with QAS and their triage.
So it's a country music festival?
Country music festival. 20, 30,000 people at that one. And so looking after people a lot in like campsites and things as well. You got to remember like these sort of environments, they're a lot of fun, people hanging out with their friends, seeing a lot of alcohol and some other substances as well. And so being able to be in that environment when coupled with a lot of depressant and things like that, which alcohol is, being able to create those relationships and keep an eye on people. This last year at an event that we were at, we had some people in the campsites that weren't actually doing too well, and their friends had all gone into the festival, left them back at the campsite. Unfortunately, just having some really dark thoughts, but that's where our team was there, just handing out red frogs. It's crazy what such like a little thing just opens up a conversation, and that's why we do it. But we're able to intervene early.
So it's random acts of kindness, right?
Like, so it's random acts of kindness and just being in the right place at the right time. I think as Red Frogs, a lot of what we do is we are already in the environment. You know, we're not counselors, we're not QAS, we're not.
You guys are more
we're
referral,
not Beyond
right?
Blue. But we work in partnership with them, and so we're in the right place at the right time. We're able to intervene early and then get them on the right referral pathway. And we've got a lot of trust. People see us at Schoolies, people see us at universities, festivals, sporting events. And so building that long-term rapport really helps us when people are in a bit of trouble, bit of strife. They feel comfortable to reach out to us. And so partnership's huge for us. And
it's funny how you mentioned trust. I think I remember a bit of Andy Goulet, who's the founder of Red Frogs. His story was security guards didn't trust him to let him into these parties, and they were stopping him from intervening and being there and present. But the Red Frogs were what basically got him in, essentially, and helped him build trust with people. So it's interesting, isn't it, where that's still a very foundational part of Red Frogs is continuously building trust through just being present, being there, and serving the community.
Huge. I think trust is literally what we're built on. And I think even whether you're a business, whether you're in just in life, like the important that trusted relationships mean to you. And so being able to be that in a lot of environments is like, it's crazy to me that that's what I get to do and look after these young people with such a trusted brand. It's just a Red Frog lolly, but you get to actually make an impact in such all of these small ways. And we know that like doing small things over a long period of times makes huge impact. Like we started just looking after a few like skaters just in a skate park, and we actually just started our skate park programs here locally as well.
On Toowoomba. Nice. Chalk Drive.
Chalk Drive.
Nice. Sweet.
Skill parks. Just back to the roots of just looking after young people in those environments that previously have been potentially harmful. But just making more safe spaces for young people to do well in. But it's just crazy, like the small humble beginnings and just doing the small things over and over and over again. Now looking after 1.4, 1.5 million Aussies across Australia and in 14 other countries. So I think that's just testament to the amount of small things and how much impact that makes.
I think that like on a local touch point, thinking about like I used to skate a lot at Chalk Drive and you do just see it does just attract like not great activity sometimes, and I guess just having a presence there of not an authority like the police but just someone who's there to care and just hang out and just bad things don't usually happen when there's a light shining on the place.
100%.
And I think that's so good, just being there to sow into people's lives and hang out with them, and just make them sort of taken back by the fact that someone's serving them and being there is so cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know you guys were doing that at Chalk Drive. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's recent just this last year.
Yeah.
Locally we've been growing a fair bit. So I took over in 2018. But we've got now a skate park crew that goes around every single week.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's really good. What did you skate? Did you skateboard?
No, I don't want to talk about that. Rollerblades,
come on.
But
flips and tricks.
Yes.
Got in the back seat. Ready to go.
Yeah. That's cool. That's so sick that you guys are doing. Oh, that's awesome. That. That's like a whole other level of just community impact and involvement. Like it's not even an event. It's just constant, and it's just always happening.
I think it's so cool being even able to meet a lot of parents. And so talking to parents and realizing that we're there and in all these different environments, like that's one of the new things that we've been in. The other new one is boarding houses. So we've just started off in boarding houses in 2 schools in Toowoomba, sending in crews every single week. Same thing, just working a lot with heads of boarding and saying, hey, what are the needs that you currently have? Is there any students that you'd like us to help engage with?
From a mental health perspective.
From a mental health perspective, but in a way that we can relate. Like all of my team are quite young. So I would say majority of my team are like early 20s. And so people don't see us as a parent or a teacher. They sort of see us as a bit more of like an older sibling or a friend that's just a little bit older. And so which really just opens up this new avenue in universities, in schools.
I'd be a lot happier being a parent knowing that my kid's going to Chalk Drive and there are froggies hanging out there as well. Like, just creates a much safer space. Same thing with I'm assuming schoolies, festivals and events like that, just knowing that there's frogs cruising around and that my kid's going to be there.
That's what we are. We're there to be there for the young people. And so parents usually love us because they realize, you can't go there. And then they realize that we're there also looking out for them. And so it just really helps that partnership with parents as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's sweet. I used to actually serve, as you know, on Red Frogs. I did do a year at Schoolies and I did experience all of that, and we did the paddock parties, so the downlands and grammar after parties for football events and things like that. It's definitely, being out in the middle of a paddock. Is that sort of still happening as well with the paddock parties?
I think even like locally, Toowoomba's probably known for our after parties.
Yes.
I talk to people all across Australia in cities that are much bigger than ours. They don't even touch the size of these after parties. And for context, after parties are usually people in high school and they're just holding a party. But there's this very specific thing about Toowoomba is that we're large enough, we have a lot of schools, probably still have that small town feel where all the schools still talk to each other. So we're looking at Gold Coast, Sydney, Melbourne, they'll have after parties, but they only invite their school, whereas in Toowoomba, then they invite every single school. And so we get these parties that are anywhere from like 250, 300, all the way up to our largest after party is 1,800.
Yeah, nice.
15, 16, 17-year-olds just getting maggot on some field. And then they invite us.
With one floodlight?
With one floodlight. I know that's been our biggest. But they happen so under the radar. And so for us, we're trying to look after these students in the spaces that they're already in. And so for us, if they're going to have these parties, we want them to be as safe as possible.
Right.
And so at these parties, especially in those early days, when I rocked up to this party with 1,800 students, I found out the day before. And they're like, hey, can you please come help support us? And I'm walking into this party. And there is like 1 or 2 older brothers as security. And then they've got a DJ on the back of some truck. And then just all these students running wild over this field. And we're like, and we're the oldest people there. And we're like, oh man, we need to be in this space. Like this is unfortunately a lot of drug overdoses and alcohol poisoning. And man, that night I called, there was 7 or 8 ambulances.
Yeah.
Just back and forward.
Was that the one where they got bogged as well, or they got stuck?
No, that was another one.
That was another one. I think I was there for that one.
Yeah, where the ambos couldn't actually get into the property.
Yes.
And so we were able to get
ferry kids out.
Ferry kids up to the front of the
that.
property where the ambulances could. Man, and we just had to get into this space. Like we're seeing now, one, a lot more parents' involvement,
which is good.
Which is really good.
Yeah.
It's good that like parents are involved because they're there looking after. This last party that we were at, I mean, we had like 35, 40 parents just helping out. Made for the really safe night. And we're not anti having fun. We're just anti ending up in hospital. And so if we can make these environments as safe as possible, man, that is the biggest win. If we can bring in decent lighting and we see sexual assaults reduced by like 80 to 90%. If we bring in real security or proper security and think through how people are sneaking in and out, that limits a lot of the older people that might be trying to break into the party and sell some drugs. If we're able to have even a good DJ. DJs matter.
Entertainment.
Because if people are dancing, they're not getting bored, and bored people are dangerous. Which we see like statistically even down at Schoolies. When it rains, like we're like, oh no, we've got to put in extra work.
Because everyone goes inside
because
and
they stay in their rooms. Whereas if they're out on the beach, just jumping for 2 hours, and then they're so tired they just want to go home and sleep. They're having the best time and they're actually sleeping. And so good DJs.
What is, and I'm probably going to take you off guard with this question a little bit, what is one of the funniest stories you've got from your 11 years of frogging?
Funniest stories? I've got a couple. I've seen a couple. I would say one of the most iconic and one of the ones that I love talking about the most. He was in the room we created down at Schoolies a couple of years ago, actually just before COVID, so it was a bit more than a couple of years ago. He was in the room and he was talking with a girl. And let me set the scene properly. We were walking down the street. We had quite a good relationship with this room. So down at Schoolies, one Red Frog team will look after usually one hotel, or depending how big they are. Usually one team to about 100 Schoolies, which is really good because they create that relationship all week and they know who their frogs are. Anyway, we're walking past our hotel and the friends come down. They're like, hey, Andre, Bet, can you please come up to this room? Our friend's not doing well. We're like, oh no. It's like, he doesn't really want help, but he needs it. So we get in the elevator and we're going up. We knock on the door like, hey, Red Frogs. There's like, oh, we just hear that moan. We walk in the room. His friends let us in. He's in the corner and the cradling, like, don't know what, but he must have hurt himself. Anyway, what had happened is he had been talking to a girl and mucking around with an iron, ironing a shirt, whatever it may be. But he pretended to put the iron on him, wasn't wearing a shirt, and then someone pushed the iron straight onto his chest. And he was so embarrassed that he just didn't want any help. And I'm having 3rd-degree burns on his chest. And so when we got up there... I'm
assuming it's in the full shape of an iron.
It's in the full shape of the iron. So we get him down to the triage, get him looked after. They help him out down there. Later on, he gets this perfect scar, or like the next couple of days, this perfect outline of an iron with all these dots. Anyway, everyone nicknamed him Iron Man for the rest of the week.
That's so good.
What? No, it's just cool that we had that relationship, that trust.
And you're there to help.
And we're there to help.
He could have got infected. He could have just refused that help and just soldiered on and not received the treatment.
He was in a lot of pain.
What the heck?
But even texted him a couple of weeks after, just checking in on him. But ended up making full recovery. But a crazy story.
I love that. That's awesome. Yeah, there you go. That's awesome. I guess in terms of, Red Frogs in the Toowoomba community, Hot Property are incredibly passionate about supporting the Toowoomba community. We love our city. We love everyone in our city. And we want to do as much as we can to help our city and organisations like Red Frogs, and there's heaps of other organisations in the city, which is awesome. But I guess if there is anyone who's super passionate about red frogs and wants to help in any way they can, is there stuff they can do?
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
And like, firstly, I'd love to say thank you so much for your partnership. Thank you so much for your caring of the local community and the young people in these environments. And we always say at Red Frogs, and it's funny now that we have the Red Frog car, which you guys really helped in us getting, but we can have the flashiest car and the best team, but it doesn't go anywhere without fuel. And so partnerships with businesses like yours and businesses, we have some really great and generous businesses and people just in Toowoomba that want to partner with us. But man, your partnership means that we can get to these parties.
Yes.
Like, you may not physically get there. You may not physically want to stay up till 3, 4 a.m. just looking after these young people. But you putting the fuel in our car, you giving us the money for the pancakes and things like that.
How many red frogs do you reckon you go through in a year in Toowoomba region? Do you like count that?
Yeah. So I do have the number, but we absolutely blitzed it this year.
Yeah, right. What was your number last year?
A month ago,
Yeah.
I had 40 boxes of red frogs.
How many kilos per box?
And there's about 8 kilos per box. Quick math. This is only in the last month and a half, right?
Yeah.
I currently
So
have...
that's 320 kilos.
I currently have 5 boxes left that needs to last me through the next couple of weeks. So
Wow.
I am pulling on some strings to try and get me some more red frogs.
Wow.
And we haven't even hit busy season yet. So
Yeah.
we'll have Wheatwood races coming up. We'll have
So do you reckon you could go
Warwick
through
Rodeo.
Another 40 boxes potentially before the end of the year?
Easily.
Wow.
And that's just like... We've had a busy month and a half, but now that our
640 kilos of sugar.
What now? Yeah, now we have such a large team, like 100 volunteers. We're in a lot
In Toowoomba.
in Toowoomba. We're in like 6 or 7 different areas. Like I said, we're in 2 universities. We got all these school education programs. We got our boarding program.
Wow.
We've got a skate park program.
Yep.
We've got some business programs where we do toolbox talks.
Yep.
Which we're keen to invest in more. We're in all of these festivals coming up, like Wheatwood, like I said, Warwick Rodeo coming up. Like, man, these red frogs are like hotcakes. And so...
Do you guys do the races as well?
Do the races.
At the race course?
Yeah, that's the Wheatwood coming up.
Oh,
so
that'll
come up at the end of this month. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, cool. Yes, nice.
So we're in that space as well. But like, we smash through a lot of this stuff, and all of these things open up. So there's like a reason behind nearly everything that we do, that's greater than just a pancake, that's greater than just a cup of water. And so working with partners like yourself, and we have our fundraiser coming up. It happens every single year where we partner with a lot of local businesses to fuel a lot of what we do. But as far as like getting involved, man, reach out. Like, we would love to partner with more locals, and Toowoomba is so generous, like I was saying. We've got a very family-focused city.
Yes.
And so working alongside parents, working alongside families and businesses to just make this region safer.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that, like, at our core value, you know, like, you know, some of our values are, you know, people are not just numbers, people matter. Yeah. I value the family city that Toowoomba is, and I want to preserve that as well. And yeah, we believe that, you know, our core purpose here is to help people from one stage of life to the next, and I think that would be
perfect
for Froggies too. Is you guys are helping them from that high school stage to the university stage to the next stage without going to hospital, without having huge life regrets potentially, just being that safety net there to catch people. Yeah, sweet. No, but that's awesome, man. Thanks so much for spending time to talk to us and tell us all about that. And I guess if you guys want to in the community help Red Frogs, you guys know how to now. Just
through the website.
Yeah, through the website.
You can reach out. It's just straight through the website or any of our socials as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, then I'll reach out to you.
Very good. Yeah. Thanks so much, man.